Did you guys know that the 432 hertz frequency encourages synchronicity between both of your brain hemispheres, which increases your intuition, your insight, your clarity, and your creativity? What's good, YouTube? Forex Lex. No intro today, folks. Let's get straight into it. So, um, as always, I like to be transparent with you guys. And I just want to share that while amazing things have been happening, as you guys may know, major milestones were hit this week. The road is not always easy. Every day is not fireworks in the 4th of July, as I would expect it to be. And in order to make it through and push through, you must first be able to identify the things that make you not feel up to par or aligned. How I've been feeling as of lately, I wouldn't say I don't feel up to par or aligned. I do feel aligned with my goals, but more so overwhelmed. And I think I have every right to feel overwhelmed with everything that's going on, Now we're stepping into the next phase of my journey to entrepreneurship. As in my NSA journey, I've been commissioned. I have taken training. Now I just need to test. And, like I said, testing and getting my additional training, that's stepping into that next phase, right? And the next phase is always the unknown. And as infatuated as I am with the unknown, it's always a tough period for me, as I am a who, what, where, when, why, and how type of girl. So, dealing with the next phase of my journey to entrepreneurship, that Forex, parenting, I always feel some kind of way around this time every year because it's right before my son and I's birthday, which means that we're both a year older, which means that this is the time where I really see the growth and maturity in the both of us. I can see how he's matured mentally, physically, how he's grown, the things that he no longer takes interest in, and the things that he's now interested in, all within 12 months. And I be there as much as possible for my son to observe his changes so that I can be there for him the best that I can be. And just be the best mommy that I can be and the coolest mom. So, I'm dealing with that right now. The home buying process is not as easy as I thought it would be. I was under the impression that you find a home in your price range, you tell your realtor, y'all run the numbers, everything comes back great, and you purchase the home. Well, it doesn't work that way. There's a plethora of reasons as to why one may not close on a home. And I'm just, I put on my seatbelt, I'm buckled up, and I'm prepared for the ride. And then, of course, I'm still working, so that's always going to be there and in the way. But those are just some examples, you guys, of some of the things that has me feeling overwhelmed. And just overwhelmed because in everything that I've named is new. Like I'm stepping into a new season of that. Okay, while parenting may not be new, it's a new season. While a job may but not be new, it's a new season. While I have had my own home, since the beginning of time, purchasing a home for the first time is new. So, just trying to make my next move my best move. And I'm not here to complain to you. I'm not complaining at all. I know no one gives a F about your complaints or your excuses. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just bringing this up because as I have been feeling overwhelmed, I've also been feeling a little imbalanced. Imbalanced because I know that I have not been giving myself that self-care that is necessary for me to push through. When I don't do it, when I don't make the time and take the time for myself, then I'm stuck feeling the way that I'm feeling now. So, what does Lex do for herself? Well, one of the things that I used to do that I have been missing like crazy as of lately, and I know that I need to incorporate it in my daily routine again, is meditation. You see, guys, speaking of routine, let's talk about routine for a second. As you make goals and plans to achieve those goals, um, you could start off in the beginning of the year, as I did, with goals and plans to achieve those goals. And as time goes on, and as goals are achieved and crossed off of your list, then you may want to revisit, reevaluate, or even rewrite a new set of goals. And even change your routine, because maybe the routine that I was following in the beginning of the year, it may not fit my future, which the future is now, you know. I found this thing that my mom um, made for me, and it said, "Today is the next day of the rest of your life." Okay, so that's kind of what I'm doing. I have really been thinking about what self care or self help. Um, what self care or self help practices can I engage in? Um, to just make me better overall, all around, to increase some of that clarity, that creativity, that insight, because sometimes I feel it, you guys, like when I am overwhelmed, when my mind is crowded, you have all that mental chatter. Um, it can sometimes be tough to make decisions or the best decisions. And right now is a critical time for me, um, as this is the figuring it out period and phase of this next phase of my life journey and journey to entrepreneurship. You see, sometimes we have to just sit. If you've been with me since the beginning of my journey, you should be able to recall when I spoke before about this non-existent elevator to success, right? And I compared life to the Forex market, because in both you can only go one of three ways, which is up or forward, back or downward, sideways, or consolidating, which is stagnant, not moving, right? And that not moving phase, that when that adversity hits or when that pullback happens, what did I say we do? We sit there and we plot and we come up with an idea for that expansion move so that we can continue on this upward trend to success. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now, you guys. Let's talk about this 432 hertz music. Well, I'll say this. One of the things that I used to do along my earlier journey, my spiritual journey, and prior to me awakening, was meditate. Um, Meditating is what got me to where I am today. Meditating is what pushed me through and along my spiritual journey. And I'm wondering, is meditating the secret? Who knows? It's my secret. So, y'all, let's talk about meditating. How did I discover meditating? What does it mean to me? What does it do for me? So how I discovered meditating, let's go back. I used to always see this eye looking symbol depicted on ancient Egyptian artifacts. I would see this eye in several other places, which I won't mention, but I would see it. And I always wanted to know exactly what it was. We know, or we've heard, that it's the third eye. We've been taught or programmed to believe that it's the evil eye and it has something to do with negativity, which it's not negative at all. So I took it upon myself, and what I found out is that it is the pineal gland. At least what we see depicted in the ancient Egypt artifacts is the pineal gland, right? So, what I found out about the pineal gland is that it sits in the center of our brains, is that it controls your circadian rhythm, is that it produces melatonin, is that it is the seat of the soul and the window to intuition, clarity, and insight. And once deactivated, I'm sorry, not deactivated, once activated and decalcified, you'll get a heightened sense of awareness and consciousness. So after learning all of that, y'all know me, the next step was to try to figure out how can I decalcify and activate my pineal gland. So some of the things I came across was going vegan. That is one of the reasons why I went vegan in attempt to activate and decalcify my pineal gland. There's several other reasons, and maybe I'll make that in another video for you guys. But that's one reason why. And the next thing that I came across that would assist me in decalcifying and activating my pineal gland was through meditation. So again, this is along the earlier part of my journey. I've never meditated at the time before. I would always hear people speaking about it. So I said, I'm going to try it. So I started off like everybody else, just going somewhere quiet, alone. I would close my eyes and try to just take my mind off of everything. I really didn't know what I was doing. I didn't go into meditation. I didn't set any intentions before I went in. I didn't know why or what I was trying to do. I just wanted to see what meditation would do for me, right? And initially it did nothing because I didn't know how or what I was doing. So that didn't work for me because I couldn't clear my mind of the mental chatter. I couldn't stop that noise that's in my head. So from there, I didn't give up. I really wanted to decalcify and activate this pineal gland. So I started with guided meditations, which is what I would recommend to anyone who's starting off trying to meditate, because it is hard to clear your mind. So, and I recommend starting in increments. Don't go into this trying to meditate for 30 minutes at a time or an hour at a time. Start with like 5 or 10 minutes. Or if you want to go big, start with like 15 minutes. That's what I did. And then gradually increase it. So, I started with some guided meditations, 15 minutes. And you guys, that 15 minutes, it actually made me fall asleep. If you can fall asleep while you're meditating, that is amazing, and that means that it's working. Now, observe how you feel when you wake up from that meditation, whether you fall asleep or not. If you can take the time, just be in the moment and have a focus point, and the focus point should be the individual's voice who is guiding you, and you just free yourself. You just let go. You just are not tense anymore, And it feels amazing when you get up from it. So what does it feel like once you've completed a guided meditation? You feel lighter. You feel ready to address, take on, or go head to head with any of the problems that you may have had going into the meditation. Okay, whereas before you may have felt feelings of being overwhelmed, feeling like you don't really want to address your issues because you know that it's going to be a big or challenging task. You may be feeling lazy, but after the meditation, you should, at least I did, have like a big burst of energy. Like you just want to take off running. And I used to be the type of person, I used to say, I ain't running unless something chasing me. I never worked out or exercised or anything. And it just made me just want to go. So those are the benefits of guided meditations. It'll help you clear your mind temporarily for the time being. And if you practice this consistently, then you'll begin to see yourself ascending. Because what happens now, once you repeat the guided meditation, now you have a period of time every day where your mind is clear so that you can think and come up with ideas. And even if it's nothing but once a day for 10 or 15 minutes, that's 10 or 15 minutes of clarity, of clairvoyance, of intuition, of insight, of creativity that you did not have before because you were not meditating. So it's levels to this ish. Like I always say, and everything starts with baby steps. But I would suggest starting there. Now, how I got to meditating to 432 hertz, to the 432 hertz frequency, is because I feel like I had mastered the guided meditations. I was ascending. So I went ahead and tried something different. And before trying the 432 hertz frequency, I used to try to meditate to like just regular soft music, like soft jazz music. Try to close my eyes, and that mental chatter was still there, you guys. So doing some research, I found out about the 432 hertz frequency, and it is really like heaven music. Like it's angelic tones. It's really light. It's really bright. I love it because here's what I used to do, y'all. This is how I started meditating. I had this job and we had a lot of free time and downtime. So I would spend a lot of time in my car while at work. And again, this was along the earlier part of my journey. So around that time, I was doing a lot of reading books. I was doing a lot of listening to audio. I was doing a lot of researching, and I was putting a lot of the pieces together, right? So I would sit in my car, and once I started to meditate, I can just picture it now. Sometimes it was a hot, sunny summer day, be like 80 or 90 degrees outside. So I would let the windows down. I would let that heat come in. And then I would turn the air on and let that breeze, like I said, just blow over my skin. The very, very little, tiny, thin, fine hairs that I do have on my skin. It felt like it was just leaves blowing on them. That was really relaxing. I would let the seat back in my car. I would play me some 432 hertz frequency music. And depending on what mood I was in, sometimes I was in the mood to have it playing really soft and just soft. Or sometimes I was in the mood to have it blasted and I cut it up to the max, right? And I would sit there and I would go into this meditation with my intentions, like, universe, provide me clarity on X, Y, and Z, because it would be something that could be overwhelming me at the time, something that I could be stressing about at the time. Something that I just needed some guidance on, right? So I would go into the meditation, set my intentions, and when that mental chatter would kick in, sometimes I would have to have a focus point, and my focus point would be the sun. I'm an individual who looks directly into the sun. They tell us not to. I look directly into the sun. Some days, if I didn't feel like looking directly into the sun, I would just close my eyes. And y'all know if you close your eyes, you can always find the sun with your eyes closed and look directly into the sun with my eyes closed while taking in these angelic tones and frequencies. And that just felt good for that moment, right? And I would sit there, and before I know it, I would either fall asleep or thoughts and downloads would just come to me. And it's not hearing voices. It is exactly what I said, thoughts and downloads. The answers will come to you. So I look at this is therapy, you guys. People always preaching, oh, you got our community doesn't do therapy enough. Go see a therapist. You don't need a therapist. All you need is yourself, to be with yourself, but you need knowledge of these things, what to do and how to do them. You don't even need anyone else, honestly. I mean, you do. I mean, like, yeah, you need motivation, support, love, and encouragement internally and externally. But I guess what I'm saying is you must first get it from yourself, from within, because if you're not loving, motivating, encouraging yourself, then how can you expect someone else to when you're not even showing up for yourself? So it all goes hand in hand. Saying that it's like yin and yang. I could see that pendulum swing like right now as I'm speaking. But one without the other doesn't mix. But so that's how I came across the 432 hertz frequency when meditating. And it is something that I plan to incorporate in my routine moving forward because I miss the way that it made me feel. And, because of all of this mental chatter and blockage with everything that's going on, that's why I'm having these feelings of being overwhelmed. And sometimes when I feel overwhelmed, I may have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tasks that I need to accomplish, and I do a little bit of each. And at the end, nothing is accomplished because I'm all over the place. I'm starting with task number 1, saying, okay, I'm going to finish a little bit of this, and then I'm going to make time and I'm going to do that. Like, my mind is just like this right now. Like, it get like that sometime, like a balled up piece of paper. And I want to straighten out and iron that piece of paper. And how I'll do that is through meditation. So why did I stop meditating? I stopped because, and like I told you guys, I have so much to do. Like, everybody's dreams and goals in life are different. Some people want riches. Some people want millions. Some people want material things. Some people want power, love, and respect. Some people want a family. And then there's me. I just want the simple life. What's the simple life? I just want to be able to afford my living, my finances, or not my finances, just be able to afford to live comfortably. Don't have to have the biggest home. Don't have to have the nicest, most expensive car. Don't have to have the most expensive clothes. Don't have to have millions in the bank. Like, that's cool and all. It'll be nice. But what my soul really desires is to be able to wake up on a bright sunny day like today and step outside in the backyard of my beautiful home, wherever I am, however big it is, whether it's 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, or 5. I smoke. Step out and enjoy some goodies and get me a nice book to read on my back porch or a pen and paper and write and not have to be worried about time. I'm so fucking sick of time. I don't want no clocks in my home. I don't want to give a fuck what day of the week it is, I want to be able to travel whenever I get ready, which won't be several times a week or a month, but once or twice a year, that's good enough, just to see different things. I want to meet other like-minded individuals and have those deep, in-depth conversations and get to know people on a very personal level. I want to take music lessons. I want to be able to just get in the car and go and drive to wherever. It's really that true freedom that I'm after. I say I'm after financial freedom because financial freedom will free up my time. And my time being freed up will give me the time to engage in the things that I desire to engage in. But really, that's all I want out of life, y'all. It's real simple. And that's what makes me go so hard because I feel so bad. Like, it's so simple. Why can't I just have this? I'm not asking for a lot like most people are. Power would be really nice. Power would be nice. Riches would be nice too. You know what I'm saying? And I want that. And if I just happen to, come up on it, that's okay. but what my true soul desires. When I speak of power and riches, it's more so for other people, so I can show like, yeah, respect, Forex Lex. Look who I am. Look what I got. You know what I'm saying? It's the ego speaking. But what does my heart want? What does my soul want? And the things that I want, money can't buy. So that's that, y'all. I don't even know how I got off into that, but I felt the need to want to say it. And yeah, I just wanted to talk to y'all about meditation, how I meditate, what meditating does for me, what it means for me. It's extremely important because, like I said, without it, then if I go too long without doing it, then I get this mind that's like a paper ball, like this mental chatter that won't stop. And the only way to cut the mind off for me is through meditation. So I'm going to start incorporating it in my everyday, at least Monday through Friday. And I was about to say, we'll see if it gets me back on track. But I can confidently tell you guys right now, I'm for certain that it will get me back on track. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you all learned something. If you can find the time, I would definitely recommend studying and doing some research upon the pineal gland. And if you're having trouble meditating, I would say start with 15-minute guided meditations. And don't forget to check out that 432 hertz frequency, y'all. It's the frequency of the angels. Have a good day, folks.